Thank you. Mr. Halla-aho, please.
Thank you, Chairman. I have two questions to Mr. Mesmoor. In my country, Finland, more than 70% of those asylum seekers who claim to be unaccompanied minors turn out to be over 18 when age tested. There is a 2-year safety margin in the results, so the true figure is probably even higher. And this is only those who are age tested. That is, people who obviously appear to be older than they claim to be. I assume this situation is similar in other member states. I think it's clear that this kind of widespread abuse of the status and concept of unaccompanied minor makes the general public angry and cynical. Therefore, age tests are in the best interests not only of the society but also of those asylum seekers who really are children and who really are in need of protection. It was not entirely clear to me from your initial remarks what your position is towards age testing. What do you suggest? Another question, you seem to be strongly against detention of minors under any circumstances. Yet there are thousands of underage asylum seekers who have disappeared God knows where. Those whose application for protection is rejected as a rule disappear in many member states regardless of age. That cannot be in anybody's best interests, including the persons in question. How do you propose to prevent such disappearances without the possibility of detention? Thank you.
He said a word or two in terms of age determination and so forth. And I want to come to the point that was raised again by Finland. Yes, it's true that the system of age determination is being abused. But in the meantime, it's important for states, and we've seen it now last week in terms of the Calais when the tabloids in the UK actually came out and said that these children are actually look old and they're actually abusing the system and so forth. As a committee, we do believe that there are actually those that abuse the system. But what we also want to emphasize is that the human rights obligations cannot be subject to popular opinions. The tabloids might say one or two things. They should not necessarily lead to a change of policy. They should not necessarily lead to a change of law. They should not necessarily lead to absconding from the human rights obligations that states have undertaken.